I'm just going to take you into this a bit, otherwise you won't know what we're doing. This is called Under Bulby, and we wrote it last year. It's going to be our friend and the fantastic poet Bill Griffiths' 70th birthday. And we decided we were going to read this quite some time ago. Of course, we didn't know then that we would also be suffering from another tragic death with Sean. And I don't think any deaths affected us quite as much since Bill died. Bill Griffiths, fantastic poet. If you don't know his work, do check him out, because you're probably actually influenced by him and you just don't know it. Bill, actually, although we weren't together then, we didn't know each other then, Bill was my very first poet friend, and he was also Alan's very first poet friend. So he's somebody who's greatly, we hold him very dear. At the time, I used to live in half a farmhouse in Staves, and Bill would come up and stay for quite some time. He loved it. And it was near a big hill called Bulby. I think it's the second biggest in England, or in the UK, I'm not sure, but the UK, England, is that okay? And where are we? And he was convinced that Beowulf he was an Anglo-Saxon scholar as well as other things, and he's convinced Beowulf was buried under Bulby. It wasn't. But
well, not as far as we know.
Well, not unless we're going to actually dig the bloody thing up, no. At the very far end of the farm fields, there was a big potash mine, and it was the deepest in Europe at the time, and you could actually hear the explosives go off, and the pit guys used to think this was extraordinary that we could actually hear them. I could time my watch by the next shift when they detonate these things, and Bill used to go. But now that whole thing is used by none other than Sheffield University as a science lab, and they're trying to catch particles from outer space and prove that we all exist or something like that. And so you'll find a lot of stuff in here that mainly what Alan's going to read, because I allocated that he was going to read all the really hard stuff.
All the tongue twisters.
All the scientific terms like weakly interacting massive particles and WIMPs. There's something called WIMPs, and that's that is it, isn't
yes.
it? That is what a WIMP is. It's a weakly interacting massive particle. Yeah. Sorry, that's why I allotted. That's why I allocated or nominated or whatever, that he read that bit.
And write it.
And
Thank you. Yeah.
And my bits are all about being up there with our friend Bill and messing around and just living and doing whatever you do with your friends. At the end of this, you'll get it. So, but at the end of it, if you do want to join in, please do. We love a good sing-song. No, actually, it's not a sing-song. But if you all want to go into a little drift off and sleep, then join in. I'll bring you in.
Yeah.
Okay.
90% of the universe is missing. Drift is trying to find it.
Potash pitmen hardly believed we could hear the low thud reverberating upwards from the then deepest mine in Europe.
Halloween at Bulby is Dark Matter Day. So show us a WIMP halo, or else a massive compact halo object. All we've ever wanted is a Big Bang relic, the cogent scintillation of a superheated knockout. Show us a product of WIMP annihilation. Let's watch those cold, creeping WIMPs cluster up.
It fizzed the dead dog's teeth white out its pole, massaged our feet. It's in the key of A, says Bill. A scale of A, 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 without intervals, as he tinkled on the criminally out-of-tune ivories in the afterglow of magic fung rooms. A, 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 A. Oh, Bill, let it be. A, 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 A.
Rare, pseudo, orthorhombic polyhalite of perfect cleavage, with 28 forms recorded, fibrous, foliated, massive, and of vitreous to resinous luster, at rest in the lagoons of the Zechstein Sea. Meet me in the time projection chamber. Let's go back 260 million years. Let's sail the world's edge, the whale road from Bolby to Poland and onto the Paleotethys Ocean. Let's find a little island in South Pangaea before the Permian Triassic extinction. A, 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 A. No matter how he tried, he never found Beowulf buried under Bulby. Where dark matter shifts, no matter what position, pit shorts and pit rags sag, with the sheer hard graft at the bink face, wishing time away to the bantle. This module will take you back to the surface of Earth and planet home. A, 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 A. G is for the germanium in bugs, as in the Bolby Underground Germanium Suite, named by Herr Clemens Winkler after his homeland in the days when the North was the German Sea. Pure germanium suffers from whiskers formed by spontaneous screw dislocation. Woe betide it. Woe betide at positive-negative junction if touched by a long whisker. And as for a multi-junction photovoltaic cell's wafer, farewell. A, 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 A. God, how hot it is down there. The pitman says, swigging his pint of bitter without dragon fire or coal to explain away the infernal heat. A, 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 A. Rare event studies. A negative ion drift surface alpha counter. Now you see it. Now you see it recoil. Now you see it stopped in its tracks. Now you see it vanish in voracious equations. A, 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 A.
Down the mine, they speak of the mother gate, and little demons detonate, not Grendel's man, but stuff 1,000,000 times older than death itself, yawning away in the corner.
But has anyone here seen Susie searching for a super partner on the electro-weak scale? Our Naiad detector reckons there's a hierarchy problem if we can't find supersymmetric Susie.
The hunt for outer space, or the lack of it, goes on and on and on, and toads waggle off and storks box in the living daylights under the drone of way down Easington Beck on the lived out under thumb shadow of Bulby Mine.
As for the names of the detectors, Lumpsy once was the flower of Cleveland. At Loonhead was an outcrop of Hunter's Vape. Land girls went to work in Merrybent's glass houses. Ironstone mines collapsed Rosebery Topping. Wilton boasts the church of St Cuthbert. Belmont was for coal, but it seems that Chalmers just been and gone.
In the becks of Staves and Easington and Roxby, giant icicles hanged themselves in 6-foot deep winters from outer space.